There we go. You are live. All right. We're live. So I'm going to give you the video URL so that you can share it.
Okay.
And then...
All right.
Okay.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right. So... sliding in. Oh, okay. No, that was from the last stream. Okay, so let's see here. Live chat. There we go. All right, let's see here. What's happening? So at Pat M. Seymour and I are reading. Okie dokie. All right. So, hi, Consuelo. It is you. You are here. So, Consuelo, you have already heard probably what we are about to read, but Patrick has not. Video output low.
I only know the title.
Yes, Patrick only knows the title, and I refuse to tell him literally any fucking thing else about it. Hey, Jeremy.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. I want this to be like a present.
Yes, you owe a present it is going to be, my friend. All right, so as soon as I put it on Tumblr at PM Seymour VA and I are reading, come on in. All right. All right, let's see here. Okay. So. All right, so. Oh, okay. All right. Fucking. All right, this stream is gonna fucking kill me. All right, let's see. Let's turn off every fucking thing that could possibly be interrupting the stream.
Yeah, because it was like a still image. It doesn't need to worry about like frame rate or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. All right. Okay, so I'm going to send you a link to the fanfiction now.
All right. And you'll all see my reaction live.
Well, you'll hear it.
I only know it's called Deep Fried Passions.
Oh, hold on. The stream is fucking up again. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right. Stream resumed. Your stream is continuing. All right. Let's see here. Video output low. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find a way to fix that. All right. If I close out the stream window on my computer, will it end the stream? Patrick.
Okay. Do.
It should.
I think as long as you still have the broadcaster up, you should be fine. You just won't be able to see the chat, though.
Okay. All right.
So what I'm going to do is I will take control of the chat stream.
Okay.
Because I think I can see it without having you fucking up your connection, since you already have to do the broadcasting.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the YouTube, and hopefully this doesn't kill it. All right. Okie dokie. All right. So
okay.
You have...
I can see it.
You have it? Okay, cool.
All right, so let me click the link and let's see what we got here. I'm afraid for my life.
And
Come
then
on,
we'll
open.
We'll kind of trade off the either the narration or the voices. We'll each find voices to do. But go ahead and why don't you read that description?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Deep Fried Passions by the Chesseray Cheese. Food mascots from around the world gather for one long anticipated union of Colonel Sanders and Aunt Jemima, but their wedding is cut short when Captain Crunch objects, citing a dark secret Jemima's been harboring in her attic, one that might prove fatal for her and her Colonel's love. Not to mention, just plain fatal. Rated K plus English drama parody, over 3,000 words, got 3 reviews and 2 favorites, 1 follower, and it was published on the good old date of October 19th, 2013.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna let you. I have to see what K plus is, because I have a hunch that content. Here we go. Okay, content might not be suitable for young children. Okay, cool. All right, awesome.
So we're fine.
So
Anybody who's like lower than age 3, I suggest walking away from the stream right now.
oh, Consuelo. Okay, yeah.
Oh, and there's
I
an
might read. We might read Trapped on an Island later, but for now we'll see how Patrick does, because I think it's a little late where he is right now. But I might read it later. And
yeah.
we'll see. But we have 2 on the docket to read. But we'll see if we end up reading both of them. We might do one today and one on at a later day, but we'll see. But I definitely want to get back to Trapped on an Island. That was fucking amazing.
My God. All right. So there's author's notes, and I love what the author notes say. Author's note: I'm house sitting for my parents and don't have access to my more serious stories, so I can't work on Fairest in the Universe or Silverbird tonight. So instead, ... this in italics. I've had this scenario in my head for some time now, and tonight seems like as good a time as any to finally record it. This person had this story lingering in their head for a while and then finally decided to write it down.
And you know what? I'm glad that they took the time to do it because it's
I'm
godly. Would you like to take the reins and read the first paragraph?
Sure, I'd be honored. Let me get my good audiobook voice going. The Sanders family chicken farm was the most crowded it had been in 16 generations. Half of the food mascot community had been invited, and the rest had turned up anyway. The Jolly Green Giant towered over the barn, dressed in his papal hat and robes, holding the Holy Bible. Papal. Holding the Holy Bible, Jinx Came edition, with cliff notes. That's very important. A sea of attendants covered the rolling hills of the Sander farm, allowing just a long, thin path of green grass between them to serve as the wedding aisle. Oh my God, that's actually a beautiful scenery they just painted.
It's quite evocative, actually.
Wow.
Keep going.
Okay. A third of the crowd was composed of invited mascot friends: the Trix Rabbit, Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar, the Cookie Crisp Robbers and their dog, Count Chocula, and the Fruit Loops Toucan, just to name a few.
His name is fucking Sam.
Sam the Toucan. Where's Sugar Crisp Bear? This is a very important question. Where is Sugar Crisp? We better show up in the store.
Sugar Crisp keeps me going strong.
Sugar. Another third was made up of the bride and groom's relatives. They have relatives? Which people belonged to the Sanders family, and which to Aunt Jemima's? Wasn't hard to guess. No fucking kidding. Even if not for the color coordination, the Sanders relatives all bore a very strong resemblance to one another. One might say they all looked exactly like the Colonel himself, in various different wigs and costumes. The final third of the crowd was composed of the Sanders farm chickens, clucking and flapping their wings enthusiastically, blissfully unaware what the main course for their wedding dinner was going to be. Wow! Okay, here's the weird thing. This was written in 2013, and they've already written the Sanders family like clones, like the commercials do now.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
They kind of predicted it.
Oh my God. Okay. Grandpa Sanders whispered angrily, "Where's the groom?"
Okay, cool.
Great Aunt Viv.
Hold on real quick. We're going to trade off characters. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's give each of them their own voice. So you're gonna be Grandpa Sanders. All right, go
Okay.
ahead and keep narrating.
All right. Great Aunt Biv Sanders snorted.
Having second thoughts, maybe. I still can't believe my own great nephew, Colonel Sanders the 11th, is considering marrying a black woman.
Oh no. Ah, can it, you old bat.
I kind of wish
Spat.
that I'd had you read out Biv Sanders now.
Oh God. I would just like start apologizing up and down. All right. Ah, can it, you old bat. Spat little Sanders Jr., the Colonel's half nephew, an 11-year-old boy in black emo clothing and makeup. Oh, I should have given him a better voice. Who otherwise resembled his half uncle right down to the beard. Get into the 21st century, why don't you? I mean, Trix Rabbit just married one of the Keebler elves last fall in New Jersey. What?
Sure.
Great Aunt Biv Sanders grunted.
But you expect those guys to be queers. You don't expect Colonel Sanders to marry a woman of color.
Oh my God, Great Aunt Biv Sanders. Let's calm down. Grandpa Jebediah, Aunt Jemima's grandfather, pointed towards the hill with his cane. I think I see him. Then came the Colonel, trotting up the hill, being pulled along by his best man, Tony the Tiger. The Colonel was stumbling and looked extremely hungover. That's you.
Come on, Colonel.
Tony urged with his usual enthusiastic shouting.
Straighten your tie.
Quit yelling in my ear, you big dumb walking carpet. I'm standing right next to you. The Colonel bellowed in his deep South accent. I can't do it, Tony. I can't get married. I got cold feet. I can't get married. I'm too old. I probably will get Alzheimer's by the time it's to take off vows and forget what I'm supposed to say.
Colonel, you've been an old geezer for as long as I can remember.
Oh. Shoot. Okay.
Tony
Tony reassured him.
Your mind's been sharp as a razor the whole way. The only thing you might get is heart disease from all that fried chicken.
The Colonel stopped suddenly. Thinking Tony's words over, he finally straightened himself and breathed deeply. Oh, Tony, you're right as usual. He gave his enthused friend a high five. Tony loved those. And took his place at the altar, barn, next to, under the Jolly Green Priest. A hush came over the farm as the ceremony commenced. The flower girl came first, a cute little Jewish girl with long, black, frizzy hair and a ruffled blue dress. She skipped down the grass aisle with a bottle of Pepsi in each hand. As she sprinkled the soda onto the grass, flowers immediately blossomed up of every species and color imaginable, covering the aisle in a carpet of flora. Pepsi Girl was followed by the bridesmaids, the Indian maiden dressed in her brightest butter yellow buckskin gown. Britney Spears, who hadn't looked so blonde or sexy since her last Pepsi commercial at the turn of the century. And Wendy, her best in blue white striped gown, her red pigtails and elegant French braids, each held a bouquet of roses, daffodils, and dandelions respectively. Man, they're doing a really good job painting this weird-ass story.
I think the best part is that they have misspelled aisle like every single time.
Yeah, I was just like, do you mean like island? What the fuck are we talking about?
Like the wrong aisle.
Jesus. All right. The music started up. The Hawaiian Punch Man hummed along to himself as he played the wedding theme on a large organ from the barn roof. Aunt Jemima began her trek down the mile-long wedding aisle with her arm around her father, Bubba. Aunt Jemima was dressed a lacy wedding gown made from the white and gold checker pattern fabric. A long veil trailed behind her, being carried by the 3 Keebler elves, who, incidentally, had tailored the entire outfit for her. All the relatives and friends looked on, teary-eyed. Jemima was aware of every niece and nephew watching their beloved aunt walk down the aisle. Billy, Bobby, Bertha, Barbara, Belinda, Susie, Sandra, Jonathan, Jonasina, Penny, Bob, Rob, George, Ronald, Donald, Lonald, Carrie, Harry, Larry, Betty Sue, Billy Bob, Jim Bob, Michael Bob, Annie Jean, Bobby Joe, Anastasia, Terry, and, the list is extensive. They don't call her Aunt Jemima for nothing, you know.
Ba-dum-cha.
The organ music reached a climax as Jemima and the Colonel came face to face at front of the barn.
Dearly beloved.
Oh, the Jolly Green Giant began.
We are gathered here today to witness the union of Colonel Mitchell Bob Raymond Sanders the 11th and Aunt Jemima Tatiana Giselle Barton in the bonds of holy matrimony. Aunt Jemima, do you swear to stand by the Colonel through sickens and health, through brownies perfect and burnt, excellent fried chicken and okayish chicken, good business and bankruptcy, fame and obscurity, now and forever, till death do you part?
Looking into the Colonel's deep, blueberry frosting-colored eyes, Jemima replied, I do.
And do you, Colonel, vow to do all the stuff I said to her?
The Colonel looked in Aunt Jemima's fudge brownie-colored eyes. I do.
Then by the power invested in me, I now pronounce me a husband and...
Objection! The Green Giant looked around, searching for the voice's origin. Throwing his green, leafy hands up, the giant bellowed.
Who asked?
Two small men were stomping up the aisle. One was the famous Captain Crunch. The other was a smaller-looking man with a white wig and a pointed hat, but he was drawn far more realistically. Quaker! Jemima gasped. Colonel Sanders jabbed his cane into the ground angrily. Quaker, you anal tree-hugging pacifist anarchist commie twit! Jemima dumped you! Get through that thick wig of yours!
This has nothing to do with me and Jemima.
The Quaker drew himself up to his full height.
This is about someone else and Jemima.
Poor Jemima's face grew as pale as frosted flakes. What the devil are you talking about? Sanders demanded. Quaker glanced down at Captain Crunch.
Tell him what you saw, Captain.
Captain Crunch turned and faced the crowds on both sides of the aisle. I got lost in Aunt Jemima's house at the last Christmas party. I wandered around the mansion drunk, searching for a magical wardrobe that would take me to Narnia. I was hammered. Don't ask, all right? I didn't find no Narnia. But what I did find was that Aunt Jemima is already married. The crowd gasped, or clucked in some cases. Don't believe me? Just ask her to show her what's in her attic. Sanders turned to Jemima. He's drunk now, isn't he? He has no idea what he's talking about, right? Jemima just looked at her lover with hard eyes. Reluctantly, she turned to face the crowd, her family, and friends. It's true, she said bitterly. I'm married to a man, if you can even call him that, who I have not ever and could never love. Her three best friends stared at her dumbstruck. The Indian's maid jaw was hanging open. Britney Spears looked sympathetic, or whatever you want to call that, with her face. Wendy went pale as a blank placemat before her toddler scribbles on it and fainted.
Jemima?
Brittany said timidly.
You don't understand.
Oh my God, you made her grubba.
I'm gonna make her grubba.
Maybe it'll make more sense if I show y'all instead of tell you, Aunt Jemima sneered. Come, let's go meet my husband. Oh my God.
So
oh
without
my
looking
God.
down the page, who do you think her husband is? Without looking down the page.
I want to say Mr. Clean.
Keep going, all right.
Okay. Oh boy, okay. The bridge stomped away from the groom and the priest with a hard face. Reluctantly, Colonel Sanders moved after her, and the giant followed. The wedding guests began to trickle into a crowd behind him, until Jemima was leading them all across the hill, like Moses, to her family mansion across the lake. The food mascots, relatives, and chickens poured in through the front doors, like a swarm of ants flooding through a crack in the wall. Up the wide staircase they went, up another and another, up a long spiral stair, into an elevator, where they sat for 10 minutes listening to crappy elevator music, and then up more stairs, until finally they reached the attic. Aunt Jemima pulled a key ring from her lacy wedding apron and picked up a large, old rusted key. The crowd was watched, frozen, as she jabbed into the attic door and forced it open. The room beyond was dark, filled with cobwebs and smoke. No, steam. An old man was bent over old wood stove, hard at work. Colonel Sanders leaned in through the doorway. Is he making rice? Oh my God. I know who it is. Aunt Jemima nodded solemnly. Everyone, meet my husband, Uncle Ben. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. Uncle Ben turned to face the visitors with wide, psychotic eyes.
That's Uncle X for now. Until I get my lawsuit against that fat bastard who stole my name.
The Jolly Green Giant whispered.
Who's he talking about?
Big Ben, Jemima sighed. You know, the big clock in England.
Oh.
Uncle Ben muttered madly to himself.
Bland rice. Fine chicken fine without it. Chinese do it better. I'll show 'em. I'll show the whole world.
It's like this. Jemima turned back to the crowd. When I was 15 years old, my mom and pa, now both dead, had me married off to a man who said they would support me fine with his great cooking business. And seemed nice when we first met. But no one liked his rice. Said it was the cheapest, blandest crap they ever tasted. She shook her head. Peeps, it broke him. His mind snapped. Couldn't handle the reality that every single group on the planet, the Chinese, the Indians, the Native Americans, even the freaking English, can make rice taste more interesting than a bland add water stuffing in microwave crap he cooks up. He went mad. Real mad. There were murderers around our neighborhood. People chopped up with axes or chainsaws or stuffed into wood chippers and neatly arranged in rice stitches surrounded by carrots and potatoes.
I love how fucking high your voice was getting.
Thank you. Oh my God. I got so into it for some fucking reason. And there's more. She's really going off.
Yeah, she fucking monologues.
Wow. I had to protect society. But as a wife, I had to protect my husband too. So I locked Ben up in the basement. After I made my big break with my brownies and syrup and other junk foods and got this mansion, I moved him up to the attic. I thought I could keep it a secret from the world. But I guess I was wrong. She glared at Captain Crunch. Hey! The captain held up his cartoonish hands defensively. It's not like I went looking for your old man. I was drunk out of my mind. I saw water leaking out from under the door and thought there were mermaids in the room beyond. Maybe that pretty siren who stole that bag of bugles from me 12 years ago. Who knows? Instead, I came in, and this maniac tries to chop me up into his rice. He had me tied up with spaghetti, sitting in a pot to be boiled up. Luckily for me, spaghetti loses its firm grip when put in hot water, and I was able to break free and climb out that window.
So,
Quaker folded his arms over his chest.
what do you have to say to all of that?
The crowd was speechless. A low, gruff voice finally rumbled.
I say, dinner is served.
Uncle Ben was behind Quaker with an axe raised. Ben! Jemima cried. Don't! Ben brought the axe down and chopped Quaker down the middle. And then he chopped again and again until Quaker was a little more than a pile of flakes like his fucking cereal. Uncle Ben stood over his kill with a slasher's grin on his face and began neatly arranging the bits of Quaker into a neat pile. Muttering to himself, he began searching around his little kitchen.
What do we need for Quay? Milk! Run for it!
Jolly Green Giant bellowed just before Ben whirled around and chopped him into half, sending leaves flying everywhere. Everyone ran in different directions. But whatever the terrifying wedding guest ran, Ben always seemed to be right there waiting for him. 3 of Sanders' chicken took off down the stairs, half falling and half flying. Well, their wings were flapping, until Ben's axe decapitated them all with one swish. The next axe swing was aimed at Tony the Tiger, further down the staircase. Tony dodged it, but tripped over his own tail and stumbled into a bookshelf. The Fruit Loops toucan narrowly escaping death, losing his tail feathers to the axe. Ben hit the Trix rabbit with a flat end of the axe blade, knocking him out the window.
I never got to try just one trick.
He lamented as he plummeted to his doom. The bodies were piling up. Goldie the goldfish had her head bitten off. Half of Count Chocolate lay draped over the sofa, and the only other half was in the bathtub. One Keebler elf sobbed over the other elf's body until N's axe brought him into the back, sending him to join. Caught him in the back, sending him to join his friend. Hey! Captain Crunch leaped into the staircase railing, his cutlass drawn. Avast, you crotchety old fart! Uncle Ben roared and swung at Crunch. They dueled, axe on sword, while epic pirate music blasted from nowhere, courtesy Hans Zimmer. Courtesy Hans Zimmer. Crunch grabbed the chandelier that hung over the stairs and swung over to another staircase. Ben did a Matrix-style leap over to the staircase, and the duel continued until Ben chopped off the hand that held the cutlass. Hey! Crunch exclaimed, grabbing his stump. I only got 2 of those.
Crunch.
Ben said, breathing deeply.
I am
Say your father now.
getting bored of this sword fight.
Ben dealt Crunch a fatal stab and sent the cap tumbling down the stairs. Oh, how anticlimactic. Below, Jemima cried out, grabbing her head. Crunchers too! Oh, what have I done? Ben turned, and suddenly, Jemima and Colonel Sanders were both being backed down the staircase. Ben slowly descended towards him with his axe raised.
What have you done? What have you done? You've sold more popular food than your husband by making unhealthy chocolate, sugar-filled pastries that doubtless contribute to America's child obesity. That's what you've done. I tried to make healthy food, but oh no, no one wants rice. They want brownies and maple syrup and...
He glared at Sanders.
fried chicken.
From a balcony overlooking the scene, the 3 bridesmaids and the flower girl watched in horror as their friend and her lover huddled beneath the axe. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think of a good voice for. What do we do?
Oh, okay.
Pepsi Girl whispers.
Pepsi Girl.
Because I was thinking Jerry Seinfeld. I'm like, oh, okay, this worked. From behind them, they heard Great Aunt Viv Sanders cry. That's you.
I'm still laughing. Somebody save my great nephew.
Wendy grabbed the Indian maiden's arm. I am.
Hold on.
Don't you?
Hold on. I'll take Wendy.
Okay.
Or did you already do Wendy earlier?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I don't think Wendy spoke before.
Okay.
I am. Do you have some Indian badassery you can pull? Surely somewhere in that beaded bodice of yours there's a bow and arrow or a hatchet or a spear.
The Indian maiden, or I am, as she's been going by since college, smiled slowly. I've got something much, much better than that, white man. Wendy frowned.
I'm a girl.
Sure you are, and I'm the Tooth Fairy. I bait her.
I bait her.
Below on the staircase, Ben raised his axe.
Sorry. Oh, man.
There you go.
Don't worry, Jemima. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to bash your freaking brains out.
Jemima's and Sanders screamed like little girls, grabbed hands, and fled the rest of the way down the stairs. Jemima led Sanders through a door, which she yanked shut and locked. Ben predictably chopped a little hole in the door, Even more predictably, he stuck his head through the hole and laughed.
Wendy, I'm home.
Somebody say my name.
Wendy called stupidly from the balcony. Ignoring her, Ben brought his axe down, expanding the hole in the door.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, Ben! Jemima cried desperately. First a Star Wars gag that Jack Nicholson. Do you have any original material? You fucking poser! Sanders shook his head in despair. Of all the attics and all the mansions and all the worlds. Okay in it, Jemima shouted. Ben finally kicked down the door and stepped into the room. Now he had them cornered.
I fucking love this line. What
This is
kind
a
of
weird,
rice shall I
badass
make
line.
tonight?
He taunted.
White rice?
He glared at Colonel Sanders,
Brown rice?
glaring at his wife.
How about wild rice?
Oh, God, the puns! Jemima covered her ears. Ben brought his axe up, laughing maniacally. Ben stumbled as his body was filled with bullet holes until he looked like a used pincushion. With an agonizing gurgle, his body crumbled to the floor. Behind him, standing on the balcony above, the Indian maiden held a smoking Tommy gun. Blowing the smoke, I.M. said proudly, "The Second Amendment, protecting Americans from foreign invaders since 1492. Wow!
Fucking
Wow!
amazing!
Holy shit. Not bad, Jemima nodded, putting her heads onto her hips. Sanders threw up a hand. Well, why the hell did you break out the gun before, girlie? I.M. looked around sheepishly. Plot hole? Jemima shook her head and turned to Colonel. Let's just get married. Say, that's right. Sanders pointed at her. You're a widow now, aren't you? So you're available. Christ.
Wait for me.
Tony the Tiger stumbled out of the library with several old books still hanging off his large, striped body.
I'm not quite dead. On my way.
The top half of the Green Giant clawed his way through the damaged doorway, his Bible in one hand. He flicked the book open and said,
Here we go. Short version, Spaceball style. Aunt, to you.
I do.
Colonel, to you.
Hell yes.
Good, you're married. Kiss her.
Jemima and the Colonel kissed passionately. The surviving wedding guests cheered and applauded and showered the couple with white grains. Jemima smiled. After all those tortured decades, they had finally found a use for Uncle Ben's rice. Finn. Author's note. Anyone who has read or seen Jane Eyre recognizes the plot of this tale. It is traditional, if I am not mistaken, to draw inspiration from classic sources. The story was less well written when first posted. I have now updated it. This was updated! Oh my God. Wow. Oh. Austin, this was like the greatest summer Christmas gift you had given me.
I fucking adore Deep Fried Passions so fucking much.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. God, it's
Oh.
so fucking funny.
What a treasure you've given me.
Oh, you're so very, very welcome. Do you want to read another short one?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna read Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles then. Real
Okay.
quick, go ahead. I guess entertain them. I need to grab my phone charger because I'm using it to keep an eye on the chat.
Okay.
To make sure that like if anybody gets like locked out for commenting a lot, I can unlock them because they can comment as much as they fucking want. YouTube's algorithm is stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be literally right back.
Okay. So, hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Do you like that story? Who was your favorite character? I think mine It's probably Aunt Jemima. She's such a strong female protagonist. Did her absolute best. Just really inspirational, you know. You know, there's a time and place where Aunt Jemima was like a dream role of mine. So it's very magical to like just sit here and finally perform for her and just God, to finally understand her struggles. I just wish I was also a big bottle of syrup. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do. Just so Blue, you see that Tony was probably your favorite character, and so Consuelo, you also said that. It's good.
Patrick,
Yeah.
I can't believe you'd make such a bad butt stink. God.
What? I did not do that. That was Uncle Ben, because when you die, you release everything that's inside your bowels, and clearly he ate a lot of his rice.
And yet, Consuelo, if we don't read Trapped on an Island with Josh Hutcherson today, we will read it at some point later because we want to do this more often.
Hopefully.
If anybody is laughing profusely, feel free to donate to either Patrick or I's coffee. I don't want to whore that out too much, but I just want to say that we put that down there. Hogwarts. There you go. School
If you
of
think
Prayer
Aunt
characters.
Jemima deserved justice, please donate to my coffee. That is all.
If you think Uncle Ben deserves a better ending. Okay. I will narrate this one. But we'll still switch off characters.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good, because I gotta take a swig of Chinese throat syrup, because that narration.
You were a fucking trooper reading that one that whole time.
So I was like, dude, I'm getting way too into this. I gotta finish this.
Oh yeah. Yes, let's get justice for Jemima trending on Twitter.
Yes, please. I want that so badly. Justice for Jemima.
No Jemima, no peace. All right, are you on the page?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles by Proud Housewife. Do you hold on? Do you want your little ones to read books? And they want to read Harry Potter books? But you don't want them to turn into witches? Well, this is the story for you. This story has all the adventure of J.K.R.'s books, but will not lead your children astray. For concerned mommies everywhere, blessings, Grace Ann. Rated Fiction K. Author's note. Hello, friends. My name is Grace Ann. I'm new to this whole fan fiction thing, but recently I've encountered a problem that I believe this is the solution to. My little ones have been asking to read the Harry Potter books, and of course I'm happy for them to be reading, but I don't want them turning into witches. So I thought, why not make some slight changes so these books are family friendly? Then I thought, why not share this with all the other mommies who are facing the same problem? So, ta-da! Here it is, and I am so excited to share all of this with you. So, without further ado...
Oh my god, it is actually what the title is. Jesus.
Yes.
All right. Before we go any further, I just want to point this out, guys. This has over 12,000 reviews, 763 favorites, and 1,000 follows.
Uh-huh.
Christ.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I wish you could see how many fucking views there were, but God. Okay.
Okay.
What narrator voice should I do? Because last time I read this, I did the spiders and snakes dear reader voice.
How about, can you do Ian McKellen?
Ian McKellen. Oh yes. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Harry Potter who lived under the stairs in a house on Privet Drive with his aunt and uncle.
He was a good, obedient boy who did all his chores, but he felt that there was something missing in his life, something big and special, but he couldn't quite name it. He stayed up every night and wished for something, but one day there was a knock at his door, and everything changed.
Answer the door, Harry.
Aunt Petunia, a career woman, barked from her armchair where she sat with her feet up. She had short, curly blonde hair and never wore any makeup. Uncle Vernon nodded sheepishly from the kitchen and put a tray of moist, chocolatey brownies in the oven.
Do you want to be Harry?
Shouldn't you be doing that? Harry thought. But he was a very obedient boy, so he answered the door right away. He turned the metal doorknob and pulled the heavy wooden door. I kind of slipped out of Ian McKellen there. On the porch was standing a huge muscular man with a big manly beard, and he was dressed in a plaid red shirt, blue jeans, and sturdy leather boots. His chest was covered in a thick, unruly carpet of coarse brown hair. He wore a necklace that looked to Harry like a lowercase t. Just looking at Harry... Wait. Oh, okay. Just
It's
looking
missing
at
a
Harry
word.
feel happy somehow, but he couldn't say why.
Good morning, kiddo.
Yeah. It's gonna get better.
Amazing.
It's gonna get better.
The man greeted amiably. He smiled at Harry. He had the peaceful sort of face you knew that you could just trust.
My name is Hagrid. Could I speak to your mommy and daddy?
I don't have a mommy or daddy, Harry replied sadly, and looked at his raggedy old shoes that were blue. Perhaps that was why he felt so lonely, he thought, not for the first time. Maybe that was what he was missing, a mummy and daddy. But no, that was not quite right.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
You can speak with my auntie and uncle, Harry retorted politely and blinked his big blue childlike eyes.
That's the Grubba voice, yeah?
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
Grubba
cool.
voice. What do you want?
Aunt Petunia peered out the door with her narrow, suspicious eyes, and she was wearing a baggy, unflattering pantsuit like Hillary Clinton.
Oh shit!
I like Hillary Clinton's I think it's actually very flattering, but you know.
Yeah. I was about to say, nice recovery, bro.
Hello, neighbor. I was wondering if you had been saved.
Hagrid exclaimed brightly and tipped his wide-brimmed straw cowboy hat.
What
Aunt
the
Petunia
fuck?
laughed a gravelly laugh and leaned forward on her sturdy, practical boots.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I lost myself. Saved? Don't tell me that you're one of those Christians. Focus, my brother. Focus.
Okay. I gotta switch up. I gotta switch up narrators.
Yeah, go
Harry
ahead.
didn't know what the word meant, but Hagrid's smile was the most peaceful thing he'd ever seen. It made Harry feel warm and happy inside, knowing that, just seeing the glowing, radiant grin on the kind, friendly stranger's face. He wondered why Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon didn't smile like that.
Yes, I am.
Hagrid replied kindly.
Are you?
You know what? Fuck it. I so desperately want to do it. I apologize for anybody who was here for the last stream. Aunt Petunia laughed again and stuck her pointy, sharp nose in the air.
We're too smart for that. Have you read Dawkins? Dad is dead. Dawkins proved it. Would you like us to educate you on the Dawkins?
That is my favorite fucking line in the entire fucking thing. Would you like us to educate you on the Dawkins?
The Dawkins.
The Dawkins.
Wow.
What's a Christian?
Oh my god.
Harry queried innocently and scuffed his shoe on the shaggy yellow carpet, which had not been vacuumed in quite some time.
Christians are people who want to be good.
Hagrid explained wisely and crouched down so he was on eye level with Harry.
We want to go to heaven after we die. Do you know what heaven is, Harry?
Harry shook his head, and his big, wide eyes were wide and curious.
Heaven is a beautiful place where we can be with God.
Aunt Petunia smacked her hands over Harry's young ears, and her tinny rat voice was like nails on fire when she said,
Thank you very much for your concern, sir. But he's not need your religion. He has science and socialism and birthdays. Haven't you heard of evolution? I have a very good textbook on evolution that I could give you on it if you'd like to learn things.
Hagrid laughed wisely.
Evolution's a fairy tale. You really don't believe that, do you?
Yes, I do. Oh, okay.
Well, then prove it.
Aunt Petunia could only stare at him, and her big mouth hung open dumbly. Here she thought she was so educated, and always demanded that Christians prove what they believed in. But she couldn't even prove her own religion. It was then that Harry knew who the smart one here really was. Tell me how to get to this heaven place,
Harry,
buddy.
you sure about that?
What? Oh, tell me how to get to this heaven place?
I was just like, really? Sure about that? Yeah.
Harry cried wistfully, clapping his hands together. Sometimes the wisdom of little ones is really amazing. We think we grown-ups know it all, but then God speaks through the minds of little ones and shows all of us mortals the struggling along the path of life humility. You.
All you have to do is be saved. Do you want to be saved?
I do want to do that, you sexy hunk of giant man.
Harry squealed,
What'd you just
jumping up
say?
and down.
Then pray the sinner's prayer.
Your voice fucking wavered a little bit.
I did that on purpose.
You sounded like one of the fucking blobs from the Herculoids with a.
Oh my god.
Aunt Petunia.
Jesus Christ has died for your sins.
Aunt Petunia tried to stop him, but she was powerless against Harry's pure, innocent, holy energy. That's holy spelled WHOLLY energy. Soon Harry had said the prayer. We're not going to publish it here, because why would we take up so much space with such a prayer that I'm sure everybody knows? I have no idea. I don't know what she's talking about. Hagrid beamed happily.
You're a Christian now.
Harry.
Hagrid cried proudly. Harry smiled, but then interrogated.
How do I become a Christian? I want to know how. Tell me, buddy.
Hagrid grinned widely.
There's only one place to learn that. Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles.
So what do you all think? I may not be a professional writer, couldn't tell that, but I think I'm being given the talent to pull this off in service of a greater mission. Smiley face, blessings, Grace Ann.
The worst part is there's 14 chapters.
Oh yes, and each one is fucking funnier than the last.
Oh, God.
God. All right,
Did you all like family-friendly version of Hagrid? He's not as intimidating.
I fucking loved family-friendly Hagrid. Fucking amazing.
That is gonna be the voice for that. Family-friendly Hagrid.
For every fucking time that we go back and read this, that you gotta remember that that's Hagrid's voice.
Yes. Because I really don't want to change it ever.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard. And a thumping good one, I'd wager, once you train up a little.
Who told you about Fluffy? You can't send me to Azkaban prison.
I did my waiting. 14 years of it.
Oh no, I'm getting to that fucking the Jewish mom voice that you and your mom do.
I did my waiting.
Oh.
14 years of it.
You know, your grandson only did 5 years in Azkaban prison.
My grandson graduated from Hogwarts magna cum laude.
Well, my grandson's a Death Eater.
You have a Harvey Weinstein Petunia fan.
I do.
First of all, it's not Harvey Weinstein, it's Harvey Fierstein that you're thinking of, Heidi Fry. If it was Harvey Weinstein, it would sound a lot fucking sleazier than that.
You didn't do it! You lied to me!
Lie to me!
God damn it, Consuela.
Consuelo!
You lied to me, Dan!
Okay, if we ever get to Lord Voldemort, he's got to have the Jewish mom voice.
I actually haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten that far in it.
Oh, please, I hope I'll dig further into this book and see if he's in there. Because it's like, if we do this again and keep coming back to this, we have to remember.
I do eventually want to finish this. I was reading it like in my streams when I was just doing that. I think I got up to chapter 5. But I wasn't able to stream for a while. But God, I really want to keep fucking reading this.
Consuelo's suggesting we just jump to the end.
I mean, how much could we be missing?
Probably not. If it's following the first movie, I'm just going to assume it's just that. But like,
hold on.
Oh yeah, it's pretty short.
I'm gonna jump to the last chapter to see.
Yes!
What?
He's in it! He's
yes,
in it!
he is. Hold on, I gotta see. Oh my fucking God!
Oh my!
Oh, oh my God! Oh my God!
It's some of it is definitely not okay.
I'm like skimming through it. It's fucking amazing. Do you have enough energy for one last hurrah, Patrick?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Do you want me to keep narrating it?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Author's note. Hello, friends! I have some news, and I know it might be disappointing to the mummies out there. My husband and I had a very long talk last night, and he doesn't think that posting my writing online and going to classes is a good idea for our family. It was a hard decision for me to accept, but but he does know best.
Oh my God.
And I want to thank the many righteous believers who have supported me on this little mission of mine. And I hope that this last chapter ties up the loose ends as best as one chapter can. All right. This is uncharted territory for fucking both of us.
All right. Here we go.
Harry gasped, and Dean Thomas gasped too, and Harmony burst into tears as Voldemorty ambled through the parking lot. The enormous crowd of righteous students were nervous, but they stood boldly in the face of such horrifying evil. Dumbledore stood in front of them protectively and manfully. Harry looked at the depraved man walking towards them, and he thought of all the lies that he must have been told by evolutionists and feminists all his life. And he thought of the empty, meaningless depravedness that he would have to distract him from that missing love in his life. And then he thought of how he would one day die, and that there would be no happy heaven for him, only the flames of hell. Harry wondered how anyone could be so stupid. Who could want hell more than heaven? It made Harry so angry. I have to take a fucking aside. Do you remember the guy at Anime Expo who stands there every fucking year with a cross and just says, heaven or hell?
Yes. Oh my God.
He's so fucking funny.
He probably wrote this.
I bet he did. Wow, Grace Ann is truly, truly, truly outrageous.
You're so crazy.
Voldemort stopped walking when he was in front of the Reverend Dumbledore. He arrogantly nodded. Yeah, I know. I forgot you didn't know that he's Reverend Dumbledore. He arrogantly nodded and said,
Hey, my name's Tom Riddle, and I'm here to visit my cousin. Yes! I'm so happy this voice
fucking perfect! Fucking perfect!
Which way is the guy's dorm?
Oh god, I gotta think of what voice I want to do for Dumbledore. Oh man,
Enough of your lies.
Dumbledore exclaimed. Oh god, I can't keep that voice up. Dumbledore exclaimed bravely. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do June Kuwatare.
Okay.
Yeah. We know who you are. Dumbledore blinked stupidly, and then he uttered childishly,
I'm sorry, what?
Dumbledore smiled smartly. You're pretending to be dumb, I see. Well, I'm not stupid. We all know how much you hate Christians.
Wait, before we go further, Consuelo gave you a really good suggestion.
Laura
Turn
Schmidt.
Dumbledore into Schmidt.
Who's Laura Schmidt?
My name's Laura. After 3 months.
Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and say that line again. Dumbledore smiled smartly. You're pretending to be dumb, I see. Well, I'm not stupid. We all know how much you hate Christians. Now you can join me on my new show. Oh god, I'm trying to think of a million things, and all of them are more and more offensive than the last.
Considering that if Voldemort is supposed to be Jewish in this, Laura Schmidt has a sitcom. That kind of would work right now for this.
No.
Watch as I become progressively more constipated as I try and force this Bible out of my asshole.
Okay. What? I don't hate Christians.
Voldemort lied dishonestly, which is the only fucking way you could lie.
What are you even talking about?
You're still pretending to be dumb. The Reverend pointed out truthfully. We all know about your plot to illegalize Christianity, Voldemort. Voldemort blinked stupidly again and questioned evilly.
Wait, this is about my Reddit accounts?
Oh my god.
That's a line I never thought I'd hear in a Harry Potter related thing. Is this about my Reddit account? Is that what
Oh
you
my
call your
god.
godless coven? Dumbledore queried knowingly. Well, I've indeed seen your so-called Reddit account, and just try to deny your hatred of Christianity when you post things like this. Christians all socks. Their religion is STOOPID. I PID'd on my dog in the new sitcom Piss on the Pooch, and it shouldn't be illegal. I will write to Congress and tell them to make law. Harry Potter laughed intelligently because Voldemort didn't even understand proper spelling and grammar.
That was a joke!
Voldemorty retorted unintelligently.
That whole account was a joke. I mean, Voldemort _ the _ righteous _ skeptic?
He laughed with the nervousness of one who knows he's damned.
Of course you're not supposed to take it seriously.
You think religion is a laughing matter, young man? Dumbledore demanded righteously. Well, it's not. What sort of a joke is trying to outlaw religion? I'm gonna outlaw more than just religion on my new show, Laura Schmidt, Legally Blonde 5.
You gonna pitch more sitcoms there? You can do that?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Okay.
try and keep up the bit.
Of course I don't actually want to outlaw religion.
Voldemort uttered deceptively.
That would be ridiculous. I actually did a hand flick doing that.
Gotta
I
get into
just
it.
got annoyed by the ridiculous straw man some Christians have made out of atheism. So, whenever I see someone ranting about how depraved and evil we non-believers are, I reply with something like that. You know, taking that stereotype to an extreme, to an point and how ridiculous it. What's the chutzpah about?
Keep going.
Also, a small but vocal minority of atheists exists that stereotypes and mocks anyone who disgraces with them. They can be just as hateful as people think we all are, and that does real damage. They bug me as much as the straw man arguments do, and they give those arguments credibility. So I do the same thing to them, replying with an extreme version of what they said to highlight the absurdity of it. This fucker just said like words that just sound convincing. Fuck you, you are a Reddit poster.
He fucking talks like June. He fucking talks like a character that I've played.
He kind of does, actually.
Yeah. So you're making fun of atheism. I'm gonna make fun of atheism on my new show, Bill O'Reilly Gone Wild. Dumbledore interrogated shrewdly.
No. I am an atheist, actually Jewish.
Voldemort explained sinfully.
I'm just
as I thought, which is exactly what my current nickname is. Dumbledore surmised wisely, and he smiled holily in satisfaction that the Lord had worked through him. We've been preparing for this day, and we have been preparing for it for a long time. Students, prepare your suppositories. The holy little one stood at attention. Convert him, assholes, Dumbledore commanded bravely, and all at once the students began to shout. You've been tricked by the lies of society, Harry shrieked knowingly. You deserve to burn in hell!
Come over here.
Dean Thomas screeched articulately.
Debate me on religion?
I'm just so upset that you don't accept the Bible.
Harmony sobbed feminintly.
The Bible is the best book ever. Why can you just respect that? Have some respect for yourself.
I farted in real life, actually. I just farted for real. I'm sorry.
All right, take a quick commercial break here.
The following has been brought to you by D-Gas. Okay.
All right, so we're Drake. Oh, I gotta think of a voice for Draco. I'm a Gryffindor hat now.
Draco yelled boldly with the inspiring zeal that so many newcomers to the faith have.
Do you hate me now? I bet you do.
Voldemort covered his ears with the discomfort that heathens often find themselves with when they are confronted with the truth. And he shouted loudly to drown out the word of the Lord.
You've been preparing to do this, to scream at me!
It is the work of the Lord, and the work of the Lord is given always orally.
Oh my god.
I couldn't say orally. Dumbledore explained accurately.
Aren't there better ways to spend your time than preaching to a bored idiot who makes fun of people on the internet?
Voldemort questioned hedonistically.
Your lord seemed to be pretty concerned about helping the people around him. Is that not his work anymore?
How can we focus on helping people when there are people like you trying to destroy my asshole? Dumbledore countered astutely.
I told you before, that Reddit account is a joke!
Voldemort whined pathetically, but the Reverend shook his head. I thought it might be so at first. I actually originally read that as fist. The Reverend commented fairly, but it was just way too realistic, like the dragon dildo I keep in my closet.
It's shaped like a fist.
It's shaped Don't trust the C in apartment 23. The C stands for cool girl. Just kidding, it stands for
I was about to say Christian, but okay.
It stands for Christian.
All right.
How was it realistic?
Voldemort inquired uninformedly.
It wasn't even subtle. I waxed poetic about the sexiness of neckbeards and said that Christopher Hitchens has superpowers. It was supposed to be funny. How could you take it seriously?
Dumbledore scoffed and replied faithfully, like it or not, your little joke is what most atheists today are like.
So, my Reddit account solidified your conception of atheists as a bunch of anti-Christian bigots who are just angry at God.
Voldemort solicited stupidly, and then he sighed.
Okay, you know what? This has gone too far. I'm sure that most people can tell that I'm not being serious, as by the sound of my weird-ass voice. if I'm contributing to misinformation and stereotypes. I don't feel comfortable continuing this.
Voldemort pulled an iPhone out of his pocket and began to type on it. After a few minutes, he showed the screen to Dumbledore.
See this? I just made a post. It says, I am a troll. It is the last post I will make on that account. Are you happy?
Dumbledore virtuously ignored the heretic and turned to the little ones standing behind his protection. Students of Hogwarts, this fool will not listen to reason. Let's save this heathen soul through the only way that I know how. A hand job behind the dumpster.
You know, my cousin gets better hand jobs. Do you know where he is?
In the state penitentiary giving... Never mind. Never mind. That was going somewhere very wrong.
It was going very south.
Oh, God. All the little ones got on their knees, and they raised their hands to the sky, and they screamed to the heavens in those voices of those who knew they were doing great work.
Lord, please make Voldemort a Gryffindor hat. What?
What?
Voldemort sighed wickedly, and he shook his head godlessly, and then he walked away depravedly. That was like 50 fucking lees in a row.
Yeah, that was overkill.
But even as the fornicating, drug-addicted evolutionist disappeared into the distance, the righteous little ones continued to pray. They knew that if they screamed loud enough, they could change the world.
And that's where it ends.
That's where it ends. That's
She
where
didn't
that's where the fucking fanfiction ends.
And we know it's never going to continue because this was last updated October 24th, 2014. Grace Ann left behind a legacy with family-friendly Hagrids, a Laura Schmidt Dumbledore, and an awkwardly Jewish atheist Voldemort.
I think Consuelo's fucking stomach is cramping up. She says my fucking belly is protesting my laughter. And of course, Dana, it's over! Oh, God, read the Harry Potter movies. Oh, God, no.
No, we would get in so much trouble.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God.
Oh, that was a delight. I want to read some of the reviews quickly. I want to see what people have to say about this.
The reviews are fucking hysterical.
Wow. All right. Right off the bat with Anne on Chapter 11. Although I really appreciate your vocation and your will to spread God's word, I think you may have got some of your information wrong. I'm a Catholic. Our leader is not a socialist. Even if he were, being socialist is not an insult at its root. I believe you misunderstand. Socialism, at its core, is actually quite good. It would be a world where everyone could get along and coexist, and there would be no need for government since the people could govern themselves. This is a very long review, by the way, guys.
It's very fucking long.
Additionally, Catholics do not worship more than one God. We only worship God. However, we pray to the Virgin Mary and saints. This is not the same as worshiping other gods. Do not understate the ability of a mother to persuade her child. For this reason, we pray to Mary. We ask her to take our prayers up to Jesus after we've all prayed to them. We pray to the saints to help us with specific things. Also, it is a little disappointing to see women who are still a little backwards. Women can absolutely be a good career woman and mothers. Not all women are meant to be mothers. Also, while it is good to be in tune with your husband and check in with him, you have no reason to submit to him that this would be an establishing superiority to him.
Yep.
Women were not simply made as a compliment to men. No fucking shit!
Yep.
Also, evolution does not go against God. Science and religion can coexist.
Yep.
Adam and Eve, as I take it, is a parable. I think. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, parable.
Jesus himself used many parables to teach humans. Evolution does not state that God is not real, simply that human life came about in a different way. It is supported by evidence you can experience for yourself. For example, they actually spelled example wrong. They got this far and spelled example wrong.
Example.
Wisdom teeth and tailbones.
Consuelo says Parable the rapper.
What? We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. They're no longer needed, but once wisdom teeth were used to shred raw meat, and tailbones were needed for a tail, which humans didn't needed to keep balance. There are also multiple skeletons of hominids, which show the evolution of humans. I think Ann took the troll fanfic a little seriously.
You think this is a troll fanfic?
Oh, absolutely. It's 100% in my mind. This is a person who just like really.
I think it's a troll fanfiction too, but part of me really desperately wishes that somehow maybe it was real. Kind of like Half-Life Full Life Consequences. Part of the charm of it was taken out when I realized it was intentionally bad.
What's even better is 2 reviews down is just a short 3-word review by guest on Chapter 6.
Yes.
And the review is, I hate you.
I'm going to look at some of these. Let's see here. You need less Jesus.
Oh, we got a call-out post by Traveler. Dear Grace Ann, if you want to troll, that's fine. I get that. But please, be patient enough to wait that people get angry about your story and write your reviews. Writing guest reviews and creating fake accounts to write reviews is just as sad as embarrassing. That's not what real trolls should do. That being said, I really like your satire. It's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. What? Excuse me?
Excuse me?
God, there's 12,000 reviews.
12,000. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You got a good one?
Yes. This is from Kyle the Good Boy.
Oh my god.
I'm Christian and I love this. I'm going to tell my friends at youth group about this. Thank you. Signed, Kyle the Good Boy.
Aw, he really is a good boy.
Kyle is a good boy.
He wants to spread the word of family-friendly Hagrid. You all can be saved!
You walk? Oh my god. The first... Oh my god. I'm so... if there is a hell, I'm going to it for laughing at this. The top of page 4 of the reviews is just KYS.
Oh no!
I'm so going to hell for that. God. My dean says go fuck yourself.
Okay. Wow.
OMG, I just have to walk away depravedly.
Okay, this is a good one. This is another good call-out post. Quote, every young woman is another man's future wife. This is probably from the book. End quote. Have you forgotten that gay people exist?
Yes, I just saw that one.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see here. God.
I'm just...
I want to find like a... Oh my... Oh.
All right.
The bottom of page 5, and this is definitely a bottom of page 5. From Daddy XD.
Oh no!
This text was so sexy. Harry looks like a snack and makes me hungry. Hungry for the D. Love the porno in this. XP, please make a sequel to this book. Really yummy. Yes, yes. Daddy likey. I would definitely do all the characters in this adult book.
What the fuck? Okay, we gotta find one more good review, and then I think that
One
is
good
the
review
end
each.
of Hogwarts School of Prayer Miracles. So let me start digging.
Oh my god, this is just the fucking best. This is the best. Oh, that's right. You didn't get to see this part. Why
Okay.
is Minerva married to Albus? This isn't right. Minerva is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Period. I forgot. Yeah, Professor McGonagall is married to Albus and is also like a very young woman.
Oh no, yeah, this is definitely a troll thing.
Yeah.
Fucking love Anonymous. All right, what the fuck? You could have just asked him to not read the original book.
Okay, my stomach fucking hurts.
Uh,
My stomach hurts so fucking much. I'm gonna fucking barf.
oh my god, this was a journey.
Oh my god.
God, and like this is getting me hyped for the thing that I'm doing for my channel later because I teased it before, but one of the first fan fiction readings we're doing is a diners, drives in, and dives fan fiction.
Oh.
Yes.
So are you gonna be reading that on your channel?
I'm gonna read it on my channel. I've got a couple of people involved with it too. I have Kyle Land as Guy Fieri.
Oh my god, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do this more often. By the way,
totally.
that was so so
Oh,
fucking
it's gonna be
good.
great.
Well, thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you all for diving into this madness.
Yeah, I don't know when the next one's gonna be, but we're gonna try and do this more often. We want to try and do a lot of fun things together because we need smiles, and this is a good way to do it. God, I'm gonna go fucking barf about something else now.
Me too.
Good night, Patrick.
Oh, good night, man. Thank you so much for having me. Take care, everybody. I hope you all had fun.
Bye, everybody. If you enjoyed, yeah, social medias below, our coffees below, and